Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking about what abundance really is and what it really actually looks like. If we have not met before, my name is Brittany Keller from IamBrittanyKeller.com, and my mission is helping the difference makers create real life impact online by speaking their truth and living life greater than they imagined. So, what does abundance really look like? What does it really mean? Okay, if you are an 80s baby like me, I remember growing up and I legitimately thought this. I thought that like abundance was like in the Goonies when they end up finding all the treasure, right? Or, really like even as a kid, I thought abundance meant, jumping into, when Scrooge McDuck and DuckTales jumped into the money pit and just was like swimming around in money. That's like what I honestly thought. Okay. Hopefully you know the reference, what I'm talking about. If not, Google it, YouTube it. But if not, that's really like what I thought abundance really kind of meant in my head was, stumbling upon buried treasure or just having, really like more stuff than you actually need. Right. And so, I wanted to share a quick story of mine that really was the breaking moment, was the breakthrough moment of when I really discovered what actual abundance is. Now, if you don't know, I have two sons. Making this video right now, they are 6 and 5. And a couple years ago, about 4 years ago, I sold my car to get to start a business, right? Like I believed in myself that much. I'm glad I did, right? But I believed in myself so much so that I sold our car. And just a few years ago, my youngest was in Head Start when my oldest ended up going into kindergarten. And so that meant that at the time I had to ride, I was really blessed here in Portland, Oregon to have, public transportation like we do. So that meant that I would drop my oldest son off at 8 and about, 11 o'clock, I would hop on the bus and I would get, take him to school. Now, here's where the story really starts is because Head Start is not funded the same way public school is. They don't have the same amount of funding. They don't have the calls and what they, they just don't have the funding. And so extra things, really they have to really budget out. So when I would actually get off the bus, it was on this windy road first off, and it was a 2-lane street, but it was like a busy street, like really, really busy. And so I would get off the bus and I would have anxiety every single time taking him to school because depending on the day and depending on what was going on, I would have the left side cleared, and then the right side wouldn't be cleared. So, I mean, literally I felt like Frogger every day, taking him to school. Right. And it was just so much anxiety. If you're a parent, you can imagine. Right. And anyways, lo and behold, right, like this bus driver, we found this bus driver that we just really, really loved, right? Like we're riding the bus every single day. And it's not like a route that's really, heavily packed anyways. And so we started building this relationship, and this is the moment that I really realized what abundance was. So one day she goes and we get in front of the school, right? So we're talking and she gets in front of the school and she says, "Hold on." And at this time she actually didn't open the bus door. So we're standing there like, I don't really know what's going on. And the next thing I know, about 90 seconds goes by and I'm just like, why isn't she letting us off the bus? Now, the next thing that happened was she then pulled the bus, like legitimately, like literally just pulled the bus across the whole entire road and like backed up traffic behind her and in front of her, right? So that my son, it just makes me emotional, but like, so that my son and I could actually get across the road safely and we didn't have to play this Frogger anymore. She ended up doing that every single day. Until, thankfully he actually got into a speech therapy program. And so that actually gave us more funding. So we were able to actually get him on a bus of his own so that he could get to school and get to speech therapy. It was just amazing. Just super grateful for that. But this, you guys, this is the moment that I literally realized what actual abundance is, right? It's not all the rubies in the world. It's not everything that you need or more than what you need, right? And I just can't thank her enough for that moment. But anyways, I'm getting like a little choked up because I just, as a mom, first off, you feel like a rock star when you get off the bus and you've got like that kind of service. But like when people love on you and they love on your kids that much, it's just like, so good. Okay. And so getting back to abundance, right? That was the very first moment that I realized like that is actually what abundance is. Like, yep, that's actually what it is. And since then, you guys, I can't even count the ways that people have just come out of their way, to do things for me. Actually, to be honest, just a few weeks ago, I went and saw Jack White because I'm a big Jack White fan. And I'm standing in line. If you're a woman, you know, right? There's always a long woman's line for the bathroom, right? And I'm standing in line. There's probably like 20, 25 women, plus how many ever women are actually in the bathroom. And this woman walks right up to me and literally tells me, you know, whispers in my ear. And I don't know if it was like my green hair, because she literally, you know, was like this cute pinup girl. And she came over, whispered in my ear. She says, hey, if you go down 2 bathrooms, there's nobody there. There's nobody in this bathroom. And I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? So I ran, went to the bathroom. Literally, there was no one in the bathroom. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So of course, when I came back to the long line, I was like, hey guys, go to the next bathroom, right? Well, I ended up actually sitting down, and I'm not joking. Like, it was like a minute, 30 seconds up on the big screen saying when he was going to start playing. And I was just like, oh my gosh, if this lady had not told me this, like, I would not have, I would have missed the opening song. I would have, you know, missed that whole rush of like him coming on stage. And so, you know, anyways, this is just a couple examples of like things that happen to me. Now, why do these things happen to me now? Because what abundance actually is, this is truly what it is when you serve on a level where you just give and give and give and give, you know, the universe just really has your back. It really does. You know, if you just give without, you know, wanting anything in return, these things happen to me all the time now. Like, I could literally sit here for, you know, 3, 4, 5 hours and tell you about all these magical random little moments of people doing things like this, or things happening to me. Not to mention, actually, by the way, when we were riding the bus, my bus driver didn't know this, but she also gave me all day passes several times for free. And it just happened to be the days that we were making, you know, the check last or whatever. And I didn't have the $5 to ride that day. Or I had $5 for it. And that was like, oh my gosh, I have today's, you know, fare, but what am I going to do, you know, tomorrow or the next day? Right. So, I mean, literally, I could talk for hours about these things, and I know that they're going to continue to happen. So guys, I want you to go out there, and I want you to live a life like that. If you haven't checked out, I actually have this whole series called Make Your Difference Monday. So check that out, where I talk about random acts of kindness, you know, what it means to really become a difference maker and really start your own ripple effect. So please check that out. But start serving. Like, that is what you need to do, is you need to start serving in a way where you are just giving any chance you can. I mean, don't be such a people pleaser. Like, you know, I have in my past. You want to have your boundaries, but when you just give and give and give just because you do, or you want to have, or you have it, like, just do it, right? Like, actually, I recently came across a quote that just got me right in the feels, and it's, you don't give because you have because you give, guys. I'm telling you, random acts of kindness, random acts of service, all these kinds of things, this is what brings more into you, you know? It's just the whole law of attraction, okay, guys? So that is my story for today. I hope you really, really enjoyed this. If you know anybody else that needs to hear this, it is always greatly appreciated if you go ahead and tag those people, or if you send them a message, or if you comment below. That's also greatly appreciated, because the universe will reward you with 5 karma points, redeemable anywhere redeemable anywhere the universe allows, which is everywhere, guys. So anyways, I'm just gonna leave you with one last thing. If you guys have not gotten your copy of the Difference Maker Storybook, How to Live a Life Greater Than You Imagine, go get this. You can get this at iambrittanykeller.com. /storybook, or if you're on my blog right now, it is somewhere around this video, and anywhere else, the link is somewhere down below. So go grab that, you guys. This is my free gift to you. This is a 30-page workbook for you to really get real with yourself. So that's my message today. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, just get real.